And welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. What is up, everybody? We have quite the show here ready for you today, and happy Saturday. Folks, last week we published an episode about what to do and compete against Zillow and all of these interrupters that are honestly just trying to take realtors' commissions from underneath them. And the truth is that the entire world is out for your commissions. And what we have to really do as an industry as a whole is serve better, like come up with better ideas and beat our competition at their own game. And the problem I think a lot of people have is that, consumers decide our value, and we don't decide our value anymore. And clearly what's happening is that consumers are looking for their real estate agent, their lenders, whatever it is, to actually solve whatever problems that they're already facing. You see, what we don't do anymore, folks, is we don't sell shit anymore. We don't sell houses. We don't sell loans. We serve people by solving their problems with real estate. In other words, we're real estate problem solvers. So what we're going to be doing on this episode is we're going to take the concept of a reverse mortgage and see how by learning in different types of niches and niches and concentrating on solutions that help people on how you can attract more people, more clients, and actually sell more houses. But more importantly, come up with a unique selling proposition that actually justifies the value to hiring you in the first place. And it's no, because the truth is anyone can get in and out of a house, but not every single person can solve a problem, especially for the senior population. So who we have here on our show today is one of I've never learned so much about mortgage or reverse mortgages, I would say, as I have in the past month, just from working with this gentleman. And I didn't realize on how sexy of a tool reverse mortgages are. And then more importantly, the opportunity that exists behind them as a real estate agent right now. So what we're going to do is go through this, show you exactly what this is. And what our goal is today is to get you guys thinking outside the box. And who knows, maybe you'll end up working with Jeremy for reverse mortgages in the future. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our reverse mortgage expert, Mr. Jeremy Knock. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Mike, thanks for having me on the show today. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Why don't you go ahead and tell our listeners just briefly a little bit about yourself, where you're located, who the hell you are, what you do, what your niche is, and I got all kinds of questions for you.
Awesome. Yeah. So my office is located in Mission Valley. The name of my company is Golden Age Financial Solutions. So I've been in the mortgage business for about 20 years. I got into the reverse mortgage space about 8 years ago, and I stopped doing every other kind of loan. I really specialized in this thing. And my mission is to put people in a stronger financial position during their golden years.
And you just do reverse mortgages, but you started off as a generalist, right? Like you would just take on any type of mortgage. You could help people refi, you could help people buy houses. You didn't really have a niche, would you say? Like you would help old people, young people, first-time buyers. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yep. I mean, I did government loans, a ton of FHA stuff, VA stuff, the IRRRLs, the streamlines. Back in the day, the subprime mortgage market was hot. I mean, I've pretty much done every kind of loan there is in the residential financing world. But when I found the reverse mortgage, I just knew I was home. I mean, it's just, in my opinion, the best financial tool for seniors that's ever been created.
And I've never seen someone so passionate about their product. Like I could tell you straight up, like when I left Chicago, I was not passionate about selling real estate anymore. And that's have to be honest with you, that's half the reason why I left. I wanted to do something else, and hence Real Estate Marketing Dude started up, and here we are. But it's true that if you're not passionate about what you're doing, like it's very hard to attract and yet even just create content around it. And I agree with you. Reverse mortgage is by far the best financial tool I've ever seen out there, now that you've taught me about it. But what's really interesting, what Jeremy's doing, is that he has a niche, whatever the hell you want to do, which is reverse mortgages. And what we created around it was a program around reverse mortgages that makes it more marketable. And we're going to walk you through how becoming more knowledgeable in a reverse mortgage niche, or in any niche. Like you could be a first-time buyer niche. You could do this in a short sale niche. You could do this just strictly for relocations. But my point being is that the riches are always in the niches, folks, because when you specialize in just one thing, people start to remember. And I'm going to use myself as an example. We're going to get into the questions here. We started Real Estate Marketing Dude, Jeremy, like 7 years ago. I was in Chicago, and we used to teach all different types of stuff. Like I'm well-rounded with marketing. I could teach you Facebook ads, YouTube ads. I could do this, I could do that. I can teach you content creation. But ultimately, when I was trying to be everyone to everything to everybody, guess how many people I resonated with?
Not very many.
Not very many. It was too confusing of a message. It wasn't until real estate marketing started focused on video, content creation, and personal branding that our business took off. And I experienced the exact same thing as a real estate agent. When my first career, like in real estate, 22 years old, I was positioned as the new construction guy because at that time we were selling floor plans. I was selling 200 unit buildings in a weekend. People would come into the sales center and that's how we sold them. That was the niche at that time. Then short sales came up, had the best years of my career because I focused on a niche. And quite frankly, every realtor started giving us their listings and everybody else because we figured out how to solve a problem. And today, that exact marketing or that problem, I believe, has transformed into more personal branding and attention around how you market your brand. And that's what Jeremy's doing right here. He does one thing. Gary Keller wrote an amazing book called The One Thing. And that book taught me so much about just being good at one thing. And everyone who is good at one thing is really good at that one thing. Have you ever noticed that?
Absolutely.
So what I want to go through is walk us through you're in San Diego. So and what states can you do reverse mortgages in?
Right now, it's just California.
Okay, so in the state of California. So let's start from the beginning here. And I want to walk you through what the scenario is here, guys, and then how Jeremy sort of created a solution to the local market. And he's not facing any competition really because of that. Or if he does, it's very, very limited. So Jeremy, go ahead and paint a picture for the issue right now with the senior population in the city of San Diego.
Okay, well, let me start at the beginning. So what we're dealing with here is we are dealing with the baby boomer generation, right? And what we have in America, what we got sold is the American dream. You know what that dream is?
Bunch of BS. Debt.
I mean, we were told that you get the house and the 2.5 kids.
Oh
and
yeah,
the white picket fence, and the
white
dog,
picket
right?
fence, dog, and everything is going to be just right. Go to college, get a degree, pay your bills, and you're going to retire and be a millionaire. But that's not quite what happens, does it?
Not at all. In fact, here's the thing that I've learned is that that's not really the American dream. The real American dream is retirement. And so what we've got now is we've got all these baby boomers. In fact, 10,000 of them a day are turning 62, which happens to be the exact age you need to be in order to qualify for a reverse mortgage. But all these people are literally sitting at home. They're trying to live on a 401k that doesn't exist. They've maybe got an average of 10 to 50,000 in there. I'm sorry, but that's not going to carry you through 20 years of retirement. You've got a Social Security check. The average Social Security check for a male is about $1,500, and the average Social Security check for a female is about $1,200. That's not a lot of money,
especially in San Diego.
I mean, you can barely put gas in your car and go to the beach in the same day. It doesn't compute. And so you've got all these people that are literally sitting at home. I mean, I've talked to clients that have $50 left over at the end of a month. I mean, that's not any way to enjoy your retirement. And that's what turned me on so much to the reverse mortgage as a tool, because what it does is it allows someone to tap into their equity and keep their home, and they can still leave it to their heirs. Because when you start looking at what people really want, AARP did a survey a couple of years back. They interviewed a whole bunch of people, and they found that 76% of those people want to age in place. Now, as a real estate agent, I know this might not be the number you want to hear, but the fact of the matter is this is a value add tool for you, because what's going to happen when that senior passes away? The odds are they have between 2 and 3 children, and those adult children are never going to go get together and move their families all into mom and dad's house. What are they going to do with it? They're going to sell it, and that's where you come in.
So love it. And I think that, you see, folks, we have to be like what Jeremy's done is identified a major problem because I just heard this stat too before we got on this show. And you said that in the city of San Diego, I want to paint a picture how big it is because it's super interesting. You have over 100,000 people who are senior citizens that have that fit the profile for someone who would be a reverse mortgage. And of those 100,000 people, 70% of San Diego's equity resides in. Is that accurate?
That's correct. Yep.
So let's just do those numbers because that's just absolutely astounding. 100,000 people in the city of San Diego. I don't even know how many million people live here. What, 1.4, 1.3?
Yeah, somewhere in there, yeah.
So 100,000 people, 70% of the equity is held by those people. And the problem here, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like inventory is issue everywhere. And
Absolutely.
Senior citizens don't have a job, therefore they have no income. Usually their credit sucks. Their debt to income ratios are all over the place. But a reverse mortgage solves all those problems. And I sold real estate for 18 years and I didn't even know about a reverse mortgage. And I feel ignorant for not knowing about it and presenting some of these solutions. So let's start off with what it does first. And then we're going to talk about how we market it.
Okay. Well, what it does. So the first thing I do is try to figure out what exactly the client wants. Do they want to age in place or do they want to right size their home? Right. So if they want to age in place, what it is it's a tool that allows them to access their home's equity and they never have to make a mortgage payment for as long as they live in that home. Now, if they want to right size, and by right size, what I mean is take that 2-story, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,800 square foot house and get them into a 1-story, maybe a ranch style or a rambler, something nice, flat, no stairs, easy to deal with, easy to age in place, and maybe 12 to 1,500 square feet, much, much smaller, much more manageable, way lower utility bills, way less upkeep. So once we determine that, then we determine which product it is, whether it's to use the reverse mortgage as an age in place tool, or whether it's to use it as a purchase tool if they want to buy their next home.
And that's one of the things I thought was really interesting. I didn't know you can use I thought a reverse mortgage acted much like a line of credit where it just gives you cash so that you could pay your bills, whatever that may be. I did not know you can use it as a purchasing tool or vehicle to buy a new house and get this right, realtors, as a cash buyer, essentially, because there's not much quality. You're basically, you're getting a reverse mortgage to buy it, but it's essentially like approved and your offer is strong. It's not an offer contingent upon weak financing, is it? Or how does that appear in the eyes of a seller?
Yeah. So if we're looking at, let's say you're the agent that gets the listing on a senior's house, and you are also going to be their buying agent on the new purchased home. So we analyze the situation and determine how much proceeds are going to be available from the sale. And with that, I create a pre-approval so that they can go shopping and they know exactly what their budget is. So that does two things. One, you're not flying blind. And because it's not based on things like your debt ratios or your credit score, you're not going to all of a sudden do that last minute, hey, do the verification of employment. Oh, shoot, Susie got laid off or Susie doesn't work here anymore and kill your deal. That doesn't happen. These things aren't debt ratio driven and they're not credit score driven. What it also does is, as an agent, it opens up a world of possibilities, because let's say someone comes to you, they're a senior, they've got $2,500 a month in income. How much mortgage can they actually afford? Well, if your debt ratios are maxed out at 42%, you're showing them nothing in San Diego, let's face it, right? Yep. But if now you have the capacity to, say, sell a $500,000 house, they've got cash, their inventory price point can go way, way, way higher, because you don't have to worry about debt ratios. They can put down 3, 4, or 500,000 on a $4, 5, 6, $700,000 house and get into that inventory point where it exists in San Diego, all without having a mortgage payment.
And walk me through how the biggest problem I've seen throughout the country, like right now, and as of the time of this show, guys, it is February 25th, 2021, is the lack of inventory. And people who do want to move into a new house, they really can't, for a couple of reasons. There's either nothing available that they can purchase, or if there is something they could purchase, they have to sell their house first before they can enter into a contract to buy the new one. And this reverse mortgage process helps that. So walk us through that so that agents can understand this better.
Yeah, basically it's a simultaneous closing. You list the house, okay? Once you list that house and we know what the proceeds are going to be approximately, right? We create the pre-approval. That way the client can go shopping. Once you find the home that they like, you write the offer. Once the offer is written, we do an application. And at that point, we've got an approved loan. And so as soon as your home sale closes, the escrow company handles the transaction there, and you simply use those proceeds, the loan funds, and the transaction's done.
So let me walk through the marketing side of what that is, folks. And I already know, for those of you guys write into the show and you guys are like, hey, I need more tools to sell shit. Like, we can't just look on the MLS, open and close doors for people. If you do that, I swear to God, you're going to be out of fucking business. You have to start providing solutions for people that have major problems. And one of those audiences is the entire senior population. And the key here is, I don't know how many agents are in San Diego. I know there's a lot, but just give me a guess. Jeremy, you do a lot of these loans here. How many agents are really focusing on senior citizens and really know the tools behind a reverse mortgage?
Almost none. I mean, really, this is such an untapped market. People just have no idea. And really, I'll give you guys another secret for those that are listening. This is the catalyst tool. If you can provide that tool and get them to move on their house, you now have an open piece of inventory that everybody is going to want.
Yes.
And it's, it's like that game of musical chairs, right? Somebody's got to move first, and then everybody starts shuffling. You get 2 or 3 of these things at once. I mean, the sky's the limit.
Just out of your curiosity and talking to people, of the 100,000 senior citizens that would qualify for like this reverse mortgage in San Diego loan, how many of them would you guesstimate, one, know about the solution?
Almost none. The odds
Okay.
are, if they have heard about it, the information is either completely outdated or it's entirely untrue. Because you always hear those horror stories like, oh, my neighbor's dog catcher's mom lost their house to reverse mortgage. And that's just not true. So many things have changed with the reverse mortgage in order to protect consumers now that they just have no idea.
And how many of those consumers would actually move if they knew they could? If you were to guess.
It depends. I mean, if I look at what that AARP study showed, a large portion of them do want to age in place. However, when you factor in things like economic reality and health reality, a lot of times those are the catalysts for them to want to age in place. Now, aging in place doesn't necessarily just mean aging in place in their current home. They can age in place in a new home. That usually just means not going into like an in-home care facility.
Makes a lot of sense. Now, folks, let's look at the marketing of this. Okay. I'm going to script a video real quick for you, Jeremy. And we're going to go and put this video in front of a bunch of fucking old people. Okay. And I'm going to say in 3, 2, 1. Are you 62 years older, own your house, but you're feeling stuck because it's either A, too big for you, B, you have nowhere else to go if you could sell it, or maybe the bills are just piling up? Well, did you know that there's a new program? It's called the Golden Ticket that'll allow you to buy a new house and sell your existing one at the very same time, all without you having a job. You don't need perfect credit. All you need to do is be 62 years or old and have a minimum of 28% equity in your house. If you're interested in learning more, please go ahead and click the link directly next to this button. I don't know anyone else that's offering that to people. And anytime you can be the only one that's offering a solution, you win. Billy Jean said this very well in one of his shows, and he explains like how people make money. And this just stuck with me. So I want to relate it to the agents. And he's always like, people, you're paid as an individual based upon the number of problems you solve. So for example, the reason why house cleaners get paid $10 an hour is because you could trip over a house cleaner if you want. I could go out and put a Craigslist classified ad and get 300 fucking people to call me and they could go clean their house. And because there's so many people who do that, the demand for how much you would pay for that service greatly decreases. But why does the damn heart surgeon always make the most amount of money? Because there's only so many damn heart surgeons, but a whole lot of people that need hearts. Folks, when you become a problem solver in a market that doesn't exist, you have to attract business because you're no longer selling houses. You are now selling solutions for people that own houses that are causing problems. So I want you guys to really think about the opportunity that exists just behind the reverse mortgage market, which is why I asked Jeremy to come on this show. He's literally like, Mike, there's like, I have 100,000 prospects and not enough people to help me reach them. Isn't that sort of the issue?
That is absolutely true. I mean, the hardest part of my job is just reaching enough people to educate them about this and about these changes. Now, I do want to touch on one thing because I like to solve problems before they happen. You mentioned 28% equity. It's very important. Don't get that number stuck in your head because the amount of equity that the client needs is going to be based on their age. All right. The older you are, the more access to the more equity you need. If it's a purchase tool, the less money you need to put down. But it's the 28% is not the hard and fast rule for everybody. So don't call me going, hey, I have 28% to put down. Why can't I get this? Because it's going to be based on their age too.
Got it. Now let's walk through how let's go through some different examples of how this works because I like when it comes to marketing, I like marketing the solution, not the problem, because it'll naturally go. Someone who has a problem is always looking for the solution. That's why when you guys are on Facebook and you see the ads that actually stop you are the ones that resonate with you. And they do. I saw an ad the other day that spoke right to me. And it literally was like my life story. And it was for like a life coach or a business coach. And it said, hey, are you a self-employed individual? You got employees, you got a growing company, but you don't feel like you have enough time in the day to spend time with your family? I'm like, holy shit, this guy's fucking reading my mind. And now I read through his ad and now he's retargeting me with like his second or third ad. And it's because That ad and the copy spoke directly to my problem. The problem that real estate agents say is, I can help you buy or sell a house. So can 38 other fucking thousand agents in the same damn market. People don't hire you because you have a real estate license. They hire you because of what the hell you can do with the real estate license. And if you want to compete against iBuyers, these solutions, and all these other interrupters that are trying to throw your commission under the bus and run it over and take you out of business, you have to sharpen your skills, period. Part of those skills are being well-versed, reverse mortgages, for example. It might be short sales, for example. We, as an agent population, lender population, need to start marketing our business as problem solution versus sell, 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 sell. No one wants to be sold. Everyone wants to be served. What are your thoughts on that, Jeremy?
I agree 100%. I mean, what I see is that if really agents want to protect their longevity in this business, they need to become the go-to people for those solutions. You know, the Zillows, the Redfins, those are great. Everyone's heard about the 1% commission, but what do you get out of that? Basically nothing, right?
Yep.
Now, if you can be the go-to person that people come to have their problems solved, guess what? You're going to end up with that listing.
100%.
And even if it costs the client a little bit more money, it's not what you pay, it's what you get.
And here's the other thing too, is like, folks, just help people, man. Like if I was still in production, I would probably just go into reverse mortgage because it's like so easy to me right now because there's no one out here doing it. So 100%, if I was an agent, if I ever become an agent again, Jeremy, we're going to go into business together and I'm just going to create leads.
Okay. Don't tell anyone my secret.
I won't. But I want you guys to like just think about the opportunity there. And I'm not saying you have to become a reverse mortgage lender. What I am saying is that you should come up with a specific problem you want to solve for something you're passionate about, and then own that market and become the damn expert around it. Because we don't need hundreds of thousands of people to know who we are. We need a handful of people, or we need a niche to know who we are, right? One of the most interesting things I saw here, and this is the most marketable, and this might be different, but for those of you that are in San Diego or even in California, Jeremy, why don't you go ahead and tell us what this whole granny flat thing and this ADU ordinance, and I think that's probably one of the sexiest marketing avenues around reverse mortgages, at least for the San Diego market. Walk us through it.
So I mean, everyone in Southern California knows what we're facing with the housing shortage. And so in 2017, California changed the laws, and they basically made it so that local jurisdictions can't block permits for ADUs and granny flats now. An ADU is an accessory dwelling unit. And so it's a backyard home. Now, with a reverse mortgage, it's the perfect marriage of those two products, the reverse mortgage and the ADU together. Why is that? Because the ADU, what are you going to do with it? The most common answer is going to be, I'm going to rent this thing out, right? And what's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, brand new space go for anywhere in San Diego right now? $2,000. The closer to the beach you get, more. So imagine with a reverse mortgage, not having to make a mortgage payment and being able to have the capacity to use those funds to build that ADU. Now it's pure cash flow. Whereas with traditional financing or renovation loans, you have to service that debt every month. So that cuts into your monthly cash flow. So as a senior, a lot of times you can't even qualify for traditional financing to build that ADU because you don't have the debt ratio requirements. Well, now, if you have the reverse mortgage as a tool, you get to build that ADU, put a renter in there, and start increasing your cash flow.
Or they could move into the ADU and rent out a house and start collecting more cash flow.
Absolutely. Or the other thing that I've been teaching people how to do is, because as the senior population is aging, there's an age number that where it just goes vertical as far as costs are concerned. And that number is 82 years old. As soon as you hit 82, your costs go up exponentially for in-home, for just care in general, because your bodies just start to break down rapidly at that age. So imagine having a $15,000 to $18,000 monthly in-home care cost. Well, if you can provide them with room and board, you can reduce that cost drastically. So imagine being able to, you move in, have the care provider live there, rent out the big house. Now you get a whole bunch more cash flow, and it doesn't cost you $15,000 a month to keep that in-home care provider there.
I think that was one of the most interesting things is there's not a single unique situation that applies to all. There isn't a universal one-fits-all solution, because with this, everybody's based upon either age and equity. And that's going to be different for every individual. Then it's going to be based on, the property itself and a couple of other factors. But what's cool and what's interesting, and what I guess I want you guys to know the most out of this, is that You can take a traditional product like a reverse mortgage and turn it into a niche, a marketing tool, a lead generation tool, and more importantly, a unique selling proposition that separates you from the rest of the herd of realtors and actually justifies your value, because everyone else is taking your value out right now. I don't see this niche any different than agents who work the vets market and specialize in VA loans. It's the same thing. You're just going after a niche. Like in San Diego, there's some of the top agents are vets. And that brotherhood, they built their whole brand and career around serving military because it's a big military town. And it makes a lot of sense. So it's no differently than like being an expert in short. This is just another niche. And if you ever notice, like when I used to do a lot of, well, God, I feel like I've been traveling forever with COVID, but when we used to travel a lot, you go to different sides of the country and you'd realize that the top agents were always like the REO agents no one's ever heard of per market. And it's always these small mom and pop type shops that are sort of quietly just crushing it and doing these deals. And it's because the riches are in the niches. They always are, folks. It's very tough to be a generalist anywhere and survive. And if your brand is just here, I could help you buy and sell a house. What do you really do? Sorry, it's falling on deaf ears and resonating with none. So I encourage you guys, think about the value that you provide. Think about the niche that you serve. And more importantly, start focusing your marketing, your messaging around solutions for your ideal client, whether that's reverse mortgages, short sales, whatever niche it is, new construction, first-time buyers, whatever the hell that may be. Jeremy, do you have any other closing thoughts you want to add up on this?
Yeah, actually, I just want to say thanks to Mike, just because he's helping me produce a really awesome educational series that you guys will be able to show to your clients. So rather than tell them, you can show them this is how this thing works.
Yep. It's dude, it's gonna crush and it's doing really, really good. And folks, if you have any additional questions, if you're located in California, give Jeremy a call. If you'd like to learn more about this, we actually put together a program that it's called the Golden Ticket. And it's actually a program that Jeremy helps markets and partners with different realtors. So Jeremy, go ahead and take the floor, tell everyone how they can reach you, and we'll go ahead and get the show wrapped up.
Yeah, so my website is www.goldenaf.com. That's A like alpha, F like foxtrot, goldenaf.com. You can email me, jknock, JKNOCK @goldenaf.com, or you can give me a call at my office, 866-407-4247 for questions.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you. Keep up the good work. And folks, we have to start thinking about different ways to stand out, different ways to separate ourselves. One of those ways is getting on video. And if you need help with that, please go ahead and visit our website. We could script, edit, and distribute your video content. We could do it anywhere in the damn country. Folks, this entire business is about attention. It's either about niches, but ultimately it's about solving their problem and owning the attention of the local marketplace. So if you like what you saw here today, visit our website and schedule a demo with a dude. You don't need more leads, you need more dudes. And definitely follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and definitely subscribe to that YouTube channel if you like this content here, and leave me a review. I read them all and I'll get right back to you. Appreciate you, Jeremy. Appreciate you guys listening to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. Please go ahead and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. We passed 1 million downloads, and we appreciate you guys listening each and every year, but help us get the word out. Help us share it with your friends, share it with your family. If you're looking at content creation, personal branding, we want to be the dude to help you get there. Thanks for watching another episode. We'll see you guys next week. See you later. Peace.